here in Iowa City. We are over off of Gilbert Court in Kirkwood, just about 2 miles off campus. So we are pretty new. We were founded in 2012 by a group of low-wage workers, immigrant workers here in the area who were kind of fed up with the way their community was treating them. Lots of injustices in the workplace, lots of injustices in the criminal justice system. Funny, it's called criminal justice. And then also housing, lots of problems trying to find affordable housing. So I actually was a volunteer organizer with this group for a while, and then as soon as we founded the center, was elected onto the board of directors, and from the board of directors, as soon as we had some money to fund a staff, I became our first staff. And so what we do at the center is pretty incredible. We work with people from a range of 17 different countries, so African immigrants, Latin American immigrants, some Asian immigrants as well, but mostly Africans and Latinos, and even now, I know in my introduction we said immigrants, but really non-immigrants too, low-wage white and black workers here in our community too, on empowering them to have a voice in their workplace, have a voice at the table, the decision-making table, whether it's at the city or the county or the state, and to really lead solutions to the problems that they have in the community. So we're not a charity organization. We don't do direct services, and we don't give away things. What we do is we do education, and we do mentorship, and we do leadership training, and we connect allies with workers to take action, to really make things happen. So we are also a coalition of already organized groups who choose to affiliate with the organization. So we've got 31 affiliates here in the area, which are faith-based organizations, unions, mothers groups, English classes, housing organizations, who say that they support the mission and they actually pay an annual membership fee to the organization. As Cora was talking about her organization, we're also led by our members. Our members is anybody who identifies as a low-wage worker. Our members pay $30 a year to become a member, or $40 for their family to be a member. And they vote on our campaigns and our priorities. They serve as committee leads and committee heads. They have access to serving on the board of directors, to getting national and local training. And we are very democratic as well. We have monthly membership meetings where our 5 committees bring proposals to the membership, and our membership votes on if we'll do those things or not. So much so that even if someone comes to our organization and sort of has a problem that's outside of what we're currently doing, they might come to the membership meeting and explain what's going on and ask the members to support them, and the members would vote. So more and more trying to become more and more horizontal and democratic. It's tough when sometimes you're working with very non-traditional leadership. A lot of the people we work with have wide ranges of education and work experience and language skills. So some folks that we work with made it through 3rd grade. Some people we're working with are doctors from Sudan. So we're really trying to unite people across race, ethnicity, religion, workplace to stand shoulder to shoulder and fight back against injustice together. So it's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding work. So that's what we do. Some of the quick victories would be wage theft is rampant in this nation and across the state, and here in Iowa City, wage theft means when people don't get paid what they deserve to get paid. So lots of workers here in our area work and don't get paid. So our organization organizes with workers to recover unpaid wages. Like I said, we're kind of a baby, we're new, but since we were founded, we've recovered more than $6,000 in unpaid wages for workers across different industries. We've successfully launched a campaign for community ID. We think that being able to identify yourself is a human right, but lots of people for various reasons don't have access to an identification that they could use. So we are in the midst of passing a countywide community identification card, which was totally launched and one of the first things that we wanted to do back in 2012 before we even were an organization. So I'm happy to say that that's definitely happening, and we're working with county officials to make that happen as we speak. Additionally, we've educated more than 500 low-wage workers about their rights in the workplace, rights with police, and rights with immigration agents. We've mobilized more than 1,200 people to take action on behalf of immigrant and local workers. So we're new, and I mean, that might not sound like a great track record, but for just a year and a half under our belt, I'd say we're moving in the right direction. Just to emphasize that we're really led by people impacted by the issues, Our president is a Latino woman, and our vice president is a Sudanese woman. So we really, really believe in leadership by people who are affected by the issues we're working on. So how did I get here? I did my undergraduate degree here in international studies, emphasized in Latin America. I spent a year in my undergraduate years in Chile, in Valparaiso, Chile, and I learned really good Spanish, which basically paved the rest of the way for my career for me. I decided that when I was studying abroad, I would not spend time with my peers from the United States, and I really had no Americans or no English-speaking friends when I was there for a year. So I really got a good grasp of the Spanish language and came back and basically since there found every door open to me that I was looking for, because it instantly put me on top of the resume stack. And I also have consciously spent a lot of time with people who are not like me. It's very common for us to want to spend time with peers who look like us, who have the similar backgrounds, who speak the same language as us. But if you're looking really for a career in international work or with people who speak different languages or who are from different places, it's really, really important to get comfortable around people who practice different religions than you, where you don't really understand what they're saying, where you're eating different food, because that's how you gain trust. And really that's the only way you're going to be able to move forward in those kind of relationships. After I did my undergraduate degree, I did some AmeriCorps work, so I worked when I was with AmeriCorps, I found lots of job opportunities during that time, and I was able to become an organizer with a grassroots organizing group here in the state of Iowa, where Emily now works, actually, who had her job before. So I was able to use Spanish every single day, and I still do, and was able to still work with a different culture, which I was really interested in doing. And then actually when I came here for my graduate degree, I thought I had to walk away from organizing to do the work, to do my academic work, but really it was quite the opposite. I really needed organizing to get through my academic career because that is what I was studying urban regional planning, and you need real life experience to be able to put theory to practice, you know? And so I ended up co-founding essentially the Center for Worker Justice while I was doing my graduate degree. So I just think that the best career advice that I could give people would be to spend time with people who are not like you, who have a different understanding of the world, and expand your perspective that way. To not write off little opportunities. I think it was really interesting what Cora was saying about internships. I worked 2 AmeriCorps jobs, and actually when I already had a good job, I took another one at Iowa Legal Aid because I have a pretty big interest in understanding laws better, and I wanted to get better at court interpretation. So, small tasks or unpaid jobs sometimes can seem like a bad direction to go, but they look great on your resume and they give you experience, which gets me into volunteering. If you ever want to be in the nonprofit sector, you got to volunteer. I just recently went through the process of hiring a staff, and I pretty much decided not to hire anybody who never volunteered. Because if you're not willing to put a little of your own time into your community, I don't really see how you could do this as your job, because it's not really your job, it's a way of life. If you're really standing with people and working with people to change the world or to change your community, it's got to be something you sort of live, eat, and breathe. That being said, you should take care of yourself and not overwork. And also definitely look for upward mobility, because there are some organizations who will not have the capacity to hire you on if you become an intern. We've had several interns at our place, and we've always been very, very upfront in the beginning that we didn't have the funds to hire them on as a full-time employee afterwards. But I do think that our interns have gained a lot from their experience. So I think that's all I have to say. I guess the other thing that I would say is to women, to don't be afraid to lead and to apply for leadership positions, and don't ever be afraid to be called bossy, because there's this campaign, Ban Bossy, right now, and I could not relate more with it, because ever since I was a little girl, I've always been told I was bossy, and now I'm the executive director of a nonprofit that I co-founded, and I'm not even 30, So it's just put yourself out there and trust yourself, and build really good relationships with your peers who are women.
I just want to say hooray, yes.